So the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Jacksonville Jaguars today 27-17 in Week 10 of the NFL season. The Chiefs improved to 7-2 on the season, and the Chiefs are now looking to secure the #1 seed in the AFC playoff race. The Jaguars dropped to 3-7 on the season. Their season is essentially mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. The Jaguars aren't even thinking about playoffs anymore. And the Jaguars dropped to 3-7 on the season. The Jaguars are essentially eliminated from the playoffs in just about everybody's eyes. And also, the Jaguars are now just trying to finish up this season strong, build on some momentum, and also continue the substantial amount of growth that we've seen out of Trevor Lawrence in his sophomore campaign compared to his rookie campaign. And like I do for every recap and preview video, I always talk about the opponent first. So I'll talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, then I'll transition into talking about the Jaguars, and at the very end, I'll give my final thoughts and my verdict at the end, and then, we'll just kind of wrap up this video. So really starting to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs first and foremost, this team was damn near perfect all game, really excluding the 3 turnovers that they had today. The Chiefs had 486 yards of total offense. They were 7 of 10 on third down conversion percentage, and the Chiefs were also the #1 team in the NFL heading into today's matchup, converting over 50% of their third down attempts today, so great job by them. They were 1 for 1 on that 4th down attempt to get to Travis Kelce to essentially ice the game, even though everyone knew that the game was over. The Chiefs did some great things. Patrick Mahomes was doing Patrick Mahomes thing. My man had all day to go home, say what's up to his brother, go see his kids, go see the wife, come back to the stadium, get dressed, warm up, and then take time to actually throw the ball down the field because my man had all day to throw in the pocket. All day to throw in the pocket. Patrick Mahomes was phenomenal, doing my homeboy type like things. You can't say enough about the best quarterback and the best player in the NFL. It goes without saying just how great and talented and skilled of a player Patrick Mahomes is. And to also statistically back it up, my homeboy today was 26 of 35, 331 yards, 4 touchdowns to 1 interception. Was not sacked, not even one time. He had a quarterback rating of 129.6. And great job by the Chiefs today, too. It wasn't just the air attack, moving the ball on the Jaguars defense. They had 155 yards on the ground as well, too. Travis Kelce, the best tight end in football, 6 catches for 81 yards and a touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 3 catches for 60 yards. Prayers up to Juju Smith-Schuster, man. Really, I'm not even going to get into that, but I will just say, man, I just hope that he's okay. Kadarius Toney, former Florida Gator, just absolutely balled out, and he was always making something happen every time he touched the ball, so great job by him today. 4 catches for 57 yards. And then Kansas City defensively, this team was consistently getting pressure on the Jaguars' offensive line. The Kansas City front 7 did a great job. They were giving Trevor Lawrence a lot of the intermediate underneath stuff, and they did a great job there. Trent McDuffie, a guy who I spoke highly about in the preview video, the cornerback that they took in the first round out of Washington. He was a cornerback I was extremely high on coming out of the draft next to Sauce Gardner, and he showed up today, really excluding that, one play on Zay Jones down the sideline where he clearly was holding his right hand. Trent McDuffie is the real deal. He's going to be a legit #1 corner for the Kansas City Chiefs moving forward. Just overall by the Chiefs, great game, nothing really much to say. Enough about the Chiefs. They played good today. They, won by double digits today, and they got the win. Let's talk about the Jaguars. So before I dive deep into how the Jaguars actually played today and what they were doing on both sides of the ball, let me just say first and foremost that the score 17-27 was not very indicative of how the Jaguars actually played and how close this game could have been and how much better the Jaguars could have been if Riley Patterson would have just made his field goals. Riley Patterson missed 2 field goal attempts today. That is 6 points to leave on the board. The Jaguars don't take advantage of early opportunities in Kansas City territory in the first half. And, Christian Kirk played a phenomenal game today, but that first drop he had earlier in the game after the Jaguars got that onside recovery on the original kickoff, Christian Kirk's got to make that catch, man. He played a phenomenal game today. I'm not going to get onto him too much because that was still pretty good coverage, but hit you in the hand. That's an early opportunity the Jaguars failed to convert on. But the first player I want to talk about with the Jaguars is our franchise quarterback, the #1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence, aka Mr. Sunshine himself. Had a hell of a game. 2 consecutive games in a row where Trevor Lawrence showed up, showed out, and carried the team on his back. Trevor Lawrence was phenomenal today. Trevor Lawrence was 29 of 40 for 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he was sacked 5 times today. The offensive line has got to do a significantly better job because they did not help out Trevor Lawrence. And honestly, in my eyes, Trevor Lawrence had 3 touchdowns today. Evan Ingram had a touchdown late in the second half, and that was called back because Cam Robinson had an ineligible receiver down the field. You are a veteran. You cannot be making that play, but you know what? Trevor Lawrence still had a hell of a game today. Jaguars running back Travis Etienne, who has been on an absolute tear the last 5 to 6 weeks, had a little bit of a cooling off game today. 11 carries for 45 yards. Really didn't have much opportunity to get involved in the game considering the fact that the Jaguars were trying to play catch up the entire game. like I say, Christian Kirk, hell of a game. 9 catches for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. Zay Jones, Mr. Reliable. Timothy Jones, 8 catches for 68 yards. And then nobody else really got involved in the receiving game. I mean, maybe Travis Etienne, 3 receptions for 28 yards. Doug Peterson's got to chill out on some of these wide receiver and bubble screens because it's getting a little bit repetitive. Then defensively for the Jaguars, I mean, I just feel like there's just too much blue chip talent and there's too much money invested into the Jaguars defense for them to be a little bit lackluster. I understand that you're playing the best and most potent offense in the NFL. You're playing against Patrick Mahomes, but you have an entire week to schematically game plan against them, and they lose Juju Smith early on in the game too. You've got to do a better job. I'm not satisfied. I am not satisfied with 7 of 10 on third down conversions. I am not satisfied with Travis Kelce tearing up our defense, being consistently wide open, receivers being consistently wide open. And also the fact of the matter is you're not putting any pressure on Patrick Mahomes. That, to me, is unacceptable. Mike Caldwell and the Jaguars front 7 and the Jaguars defense as a whole, you've got to do better than that. That's really all I got to say about the defense. That's really all I got to say about the Jaguars today. Obviously disappointed that, we won the turnover differential 3-0. And we still found a way to lose this game. Riley Patterson, I doubt he's going to be cut, but just got to be better, man. It's unacceptable. You have one job. Make your kicks. It's as simple as that. But Jaguar fans, Chiefs fans, NFL fans, that's it for this recap. I mean, nothing else really spectacular to talk about with this matchup. Jaguars got to do better. Season's got to get, better in some way, shape, or form. And Chiefs played a hell of a game. Yeah, that's really all I got to say. Yeah, I'm just going to close the video like this.